Did y'all hear that they said 261 Walmarts is shutting down? Hold on. Now, they said since Walmart is mostly populated in the U.S., a lot of U.S. locations will be shut down. But they're also shutting down Walmarts in Brazil. Most of the Walmarts that are in Brazil are also getting shut down. They said it's due to theft that they're getting stole from and that the inventory is not adding up. They tried to prevent the stealing with the self checkout and having security at the door, but that was not enough. All the things that they tried to do to prevent the theft did not prevent the theft. Theft kept going on. So now all across America, Walmart is officially shutting down next month. Next month. And our whole time, I think it's this month because they said in May. From May 4th, they're going to start shutting down Walmarts. So slowly but surely, every Walmart is starting to shut down. That's why they would not start accepting Apple Pay or doing anything. Even Walmart Plus is already shut down right now as we speak. Personally, I did not think that Walmart was getting stole from that much to where that they was eventually gonna have to close down business. Like, you know what I'm saying? I thought Walmart was like $1 billion business; it would never close down. What y'all think about this? Do y'all think they're really getting stole from that much?
So I see that Walmart is closing, it's trending. But my thing is, y'all, I really have a serious question. Like, do y'all really shop at Walmart and or Target? Because I honestly, I was shocked at when they started doing the Target boycott. I was shocked at how many people already shop at Target. I don't shop at Target at all. One, Target is expensive as hell, and I don't even get the groceries from there. Like my groceries, well, I do grocery shopping at Aldi because if y'all don't know, it's cheap, but also their food doesn't have any preservatives in it at Aldi, I believe. But if I'm not at Aldi, I'm at Giant and or I'm at Acme. So I don't know. Target just never been my place, and I always, not that it's any better. Jeff Bezos. I'm always on Amazon. I don't shop nowhere else. I don't have a car. If I had a car, I would go to Costco. If I had a car, I gotta get rich so I can get a car. But that's another story for another day. I don't know. I'm not even really that pressed about Walmart closing. I don't really go to. I go to Walmart like once every fucking 6 months.
So Walmart is closing down? Are y'all being for real? Was it too ghetto or something? Because in that case, I understand. It's like every day there would be a fight in that store, or somebody got arrested for stealing. Every single day. Like, damn. I mean, I can't lie. It was entertaining, okay? Seriously though, where am I finna shop at now? Target is way too expensive, first of all. The Dollar General is just as bad, if not worse. Like, dang. Walmart was really that store for real.
A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this from. Welcome back to another episode of my YouTube channel. And today, there is a story about Walmart that I am about to tell you. A story that is heartbreaking. A story that uh, is changing. A story that is all about America's economic blunders that they have made. So let me ask you something. Have you walked into a Walmart recently, picked up a carton of eggs, or a carton of eggs, or a baby stroller, and thought, why the hell is this so much expensive now? Well, it turns out it's not just inflation or supply chain issues. It's politics, real policies, and tariffs to be specific. Today, we're going to dive deeper into how Donald Trump's tariffs war is quietly shaking the foundations of everyday American life. And probably you see Walmart, the company built on everyday low prices, is raising prices on everything from bananas to baby dolls. Not because they want to, but because they say they have to. But here is where it gets even more serious. To survive these new costs, Walmart is not just raising prices, they are shipping jobs overseas, ramping up automation, and cutting back on workers here at home in the United States of America. And that ripple, it's hitting rural communities, middle class families, and blue collar jobs so hard. So the question is, are we really protecting American jobs with these tariffs? Or are we trading them in for something much more dangerous? Guys, stay with me because what's happening inside Walmart might just be the clearest warning yet of where America is headed, and whether the cost of America fast is really being paid by everyday American, I don't know. But sit back, relax, and let us watch these videos together, and then I'll come back with my further analysis.
It's kind of crazy. You don't hear of things like Walmart closing. Walmart.
A shocker tonight for suburban shoppers. Walmart announcing it's closing 3 stores.
The stores to be closed are spread across the area from north to south in Lincolnwood, Plainfield, and Homewood. The Homewood announcement is being met with criticism from customers and the mayor.
Tonight we have new information about Walmart's plan to close 2 of its San Diego stores. You wanted to know why they're shutting down, and CBS 8's Shannon Handy has been working for you to get some answers.
In May 2025, Walmart, the quintessential American retail behemoth, sent shockwaves through the economy with an announcement that shattered its long-standing identity as the nation's low-price leader. Prices were set to surge, driven by a new wave of tariffs imposed by President Donald Trump. This wasn't just about pricier avocados or toys. It was a seismic shift involving global supply chains, automation, and political firestorms emanating from the Oval Office. Beyond retail, Walmart's evolution signals profound implications for American jobs, consumer wallets, and the nation's economic landscape. Here are 5 significant developments that reveal how Walmart's transformation could reshape the future. On May 15, 2025, Walmart's CEO Doug McMillon delivered a sobering message. Widespread price hikes were imminent, driven by Trump's import tariffs, which initially spiked to a staggering 145% on Chinese goods before settling at 30%. For a company built on razor-thin margins, absorbing these costs was impossible. CFO John David Rainey was blunt, warning that price increases would hit by June, with sharper climbs expected by July. Perfectly timed to sting consumers during back-to-school shopping season. These weren't niche products taking the hit. Everyday staples like bananas, avocados, and baby gear saw significant markups, while electronics and toys faced even steeper increases. A Barbie doll, for instance, jumped from $10.49 to $14.99 in just 1 week. Trump's response was characteristically combative, insisting Walmart should eat the tariffs. But as anyone familiar with business or household budgets knows, tariffs are taxes and don't simply vanish. When a retail giant synonymous with affordability raises prices, it signals distress rippling through the entire supply chain. Yet, price hikes were only the beginning. Walmart was already re-engineering its global operations to survive. While the public reeled from sticker shock, Walmart was quietly executing a strategic overhaul of its sourcing map. The company shifted orders away from U.S. soil, investing heavily in Vietnam, India, and Mexico suppliers. This wasn't a knee-jerk reaction, but a surgical recalibration. Initiatives like Grow with U.S. replaced Made in USA commitments with tariff-proof, foreign-based logistics. Even packaging was redesigned, swapping aluminum for fiberglass to dodge import duties.
I mean, John David, I think it's important to start with that discussion on tariffs. Walmart's foundation is everyday low prices, but because of tariffs, maybe not so low today, not as low as they were yesterday, and perhaps we're looking at higher prices to come. What's Walmart's strategy?
I want to start with, we had a good quarter in what is an otherwise pretty unpredictable and dynamic environment right now. Our goal, though, we're wired to keep prices low for customers. But the level of tariffs that have been proposed is pretty challenging for all retailers, for suppliers, and certainly our concern is that consumers are going to feel some of that. So we're going to keep prices as low as we can for as long as we can.
Walmart also accelerated its automation blitz. On the surface, rolling out robotics and AI in stores appeared as a forward-thinking innovation. It was a tactical response to rising labor costs and tariff-induced margin shrinkage. Critics decried this as a betrayal of Walmart's Americana image, accusing the company of abandoning its roots. But executives prioritized one thing: survivability. Tariffs had turned domestic manufacturing into a financial minefield, forcing even iconic brands like Walmart to adapt or risk collapse. This pivot, however, sparked political backlash in Washington. When news of Walmart's overseas shift reached President Trump, his reaction was explosive. Behind closed doors, he reportedly fumed about a betrayal of the American people, even floating the idea of yanking government contracts. A fiery Truth Social post demanded that Walmart absorb the tariffs and keep prices low. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick echoed this, insisting Existing companies should bear the costs. Economists, however, were quick to counter, tariffs are import taxes, and someone, whether the company, the customer, or both, always pays. Walmart held firm. CEO Doug McMillon reaffirmed the company's commitment to U.S. jobs while explaining the harsh reality of retail's tight margins. The PR damage, however, was significant. Trump's base branded Walmart unpatriotic, despite its deep ties to American communities. The stakes were higher than with previous Trump targets like Harley-Davidson or GM. Walmart isn't just a company, it's a national retail anchor. If even Walmart shifts away from the domestic economy, it's a glaring sign that tariff-driven policies are faltering. Walmart's latest financial disclosures underscored this tension. Walmart's first quarter earnings in 2025 painted a picture of resilience laced with warning signs. Revenue climbed to $165.61 billion, buoyed by strong grocery sales and e-commerce growth. But profits took a hit. The company beat analyst expectations, but only through aggressive cost-cutting and early import stockpiling, not genuine retail strength. McMillan and Rainey were candid. Tariffs were eroding profitability. A Chinese-made car seat that once cost $350 now retails for over $450, with similar spikes looming for strollers, electronics, and seasonal goods. Walmart wasn't alone. Companies like Mattel and Procter & Gamble also raised prices, but its sheer scale amplified the impact. With over 3,600 stores and 150 million weekly shoppers, Walmart's financial moves reverberate across the national economy. Investors initially flinched, but soon recognized Walmart's automation, overseas sourcing, and AI strategy as lifelines. Profits might stabilize, but not without consequences for Main Street. Consumer confidence is slipping, with 75% of Americans blaming tariffs for higher prices. Walmart's pivot feels less like abandonment and more like survival under unsustainable conditions, but its effects on communities are undeniable. When Walmart shifts gears, small-town America feels the jolt. Beyond pricier products and automation, the real impact is on families losing hours, jobs, and stability. Distribution hubs are downsizing, local suppliers are being dropped, and regional truckers are hauling fewer loads. In rural areas where Walmart is often the largest employer, these changes ripple far beyond payroll, affecting housing markets, school funding, and healthcare. As sourcing moves overseas, small manufacturers that once relied on Walmart contracts face closure. While the company invests in tech-heavy stores and fulfillment centers, these next-generation models require fewer workers, leaning heavily into online-first operations. Rural locations risk being sidelined. Lawmakers are raising alarms, but economists warn that Trump's response, threatening new tariffs on companies offshoring work, could deepen inflation and stall growth. For working Americans, the dilemma is stark: pay more or lose more. With tensions rising and livelihoods at stake, the path forward is uncertain. Is Walmart abandoning the U.S.? Not physically, the storefronts remain, but its sourcing, strategy, and spirit are shifting. Tariffs haven't revived American factories. They've pushed companies like Walmart to seek shelter abroad, reduce headcounts, and automate aggressively. Walmart, the most quintessentially American of brands, has confirmed a harsh reality. Slogans can't override spreadsheets. As prices climb, communities reel, and trade wars intensify. Walmart's pivot may be just the beginning. What stops others from following if the biggest name in retail is looking overseas to survive? This transformation raises critical questions. Is Walmart's move a business necessity or a betrayal of American workers? Should companies be forced to absorb tariffs, or is that an unrealistic policy? What's the long-term cost of automation replacing local jobs in towns that depend on retailers like Walmart? The answers aren't simple, but they're vital to understanding the future of American retail and its economic backbone. Walmart's evolution is more than a corporate strategy. It's a bellwether for the nation's economic trajectory. As tariffs reshape global trade and automation redefines work, the ripple effects will touch every corner of American life, from consumer wallets to rural communities. The road ahead is foggy, but one thing is clear: the era of cheap goods and stable retail jobs is threatened, and Walmart's pivot is a stark warning of what's to come.
Welcome back to the channel, and I'd like us to get into the real details. For those who don't know, tariffs are basically taxes on imported goods. In 2025, Trump hit Chinese imports with a whopping 145% tax, which later settled at 30%. That tax didn't vanish into thin air. It showed up in your receipt. Walmart's margins are razor thin. So, when those tariffs hit, they could absorb them. That meant prices hikes, steep ones. A Barbie doll jumped from $10.49 to around $14.99 in just 1 week. Even bananas and avocados saw hikes, and it's all time to hit hardest during the back to school season. Now, here's where things shift. Walmart didn't just raise prices, they re engineered the entire supply chain. Instead of buying from American factories, they pivoted her to Mexico, Vietnam, and India. Why? Because it's cheaper and it dodges the tariffs. That may sound smart on paper, but here is the real world fallout. Local suppliers are losing contracts. American factories are shutting down. Truckers are getting fewer loads. And in small towns where Walmart is a major employer, that's the devastating, of course. And fewer jobs means less money. And if people have less money in their pockets, it means that the money that circulates the community too is less. There is less spending, less housing security, even less school funding. Then there is automation. Walmart is rolling out AI, robotics, and tech heavy fulfillment centers. These are sleek, efficient, and require a lot fewer workers. That's great for Wall Street, not so much for your neighbor who just lost a night shift job. Okay, it's a classic squeeze. American families are paying more at checkout while earning less at work. And it's all tied back to one key decision: tariffs, meant to protect American industry that are ironically pushing it offshore. So, guys, listen up. As I wind up here, I want you to listen and listen to me very careful, because here's the real deal. Here's where this story hits home and it hits hard. Walmart is not just another corporation, it's a symbol of America. For decades, it promised two things: cheap goods and stable jobs. But now, both are under siege. The backstory is very important. When Trump pushed for aggressive tariffs on China, it was pitched as a way to bring manufacturing back to the US. We'll make it in America again. Maybe it sounds great, but the reality isn't so patriotic. Walmart executive says it's not just financially possible to absorb those tariffs. And they're not wrong. Economists agree. Someone always pays for a tariff. Either the company does, the consumer does, or both. And in this case, it's clearly the consumer, the average American citizen. But it's more than just paying for more toys and tomatoes. It's a systemic shift, a pivot. Walmart, along with other big retailers, is moving jobs abroad and replacing human workers with machines. The irony: these tariffs meant to boost US jobs are accelerating the exact opposite, like things are just barely upwards. Let's talk about the communities at the center of this. There are rural towns where Walmart might be the biggest employer, places where distribution centers provide hundreds of jobs. As Walmart shrinks its workforce and automates, those communities lose more than paychecks. They lose stability. School budgets are going to drop. Local clinics are going to close up. Housing markets are going to crash. And this is what we call a domino effect. And don't forget the emotional toll. Imagine being a supplier who built a business around Walmart's, I mean, made in America promise, only to be dropped overnight. Or a worker training a robot that will eventually replace them. It's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking. But this is about more than just Walmart or tariffs. It's about the future of American labor, about how trade wars, automation, and corporate strategies intersect and leave real people behind. Are we witnessing the death of the American retail worker? Are we entering a new economic era where survival means abandonment? The very people companies once relied on. Well, Walmart's moves raises tough questions. Are these necessary steps to stay afloat or a betrayal of American workers? Is this economic evolution or exploitation? Tell me in the comments. But as I wind up, one thing is for sure. The era of cheap goods and stable jobs is cracking apart. The middle class, already stretched, is now being squeezed from both ends, and the decisions made in boardrooms on Capitol Hill are reshaping the economic map of America. So, as you look around your own community, ask yourself, who is really paying the price for these policies and who is getting left behind? All right. Thanks for watching, people. Don't forget to comment below. Do you think tariffs helped or hurt American families? And what should Walmart and Washington do next? Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in my next video. Make sure you share, like, and subscribe for more deep dives into stories that really matter. Peace out.